Recording. There we go. Recording started. Uh, it is time once again for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Of course, I am your host, Adam Hebert, and joining me once again, as our special guest co-host from the University of Montana, Mr. John Kendall. Come on down.
Afternoon, everybody. I'm back.
And who is Danny MT? Is that your friend, John?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know how to turn the sensors off. Believe me, I wish I could. Now, keep in mind that we are not under FCC regulations, which means we can swear all the fuck we want, and of course, we take great pride in that. You know, as Rush Limbaugh, who we'll actually be hearing quite a bit of tonight, once said, "This program has no boundaries." Unfortunately, I can't be quite as jowly. I don't have those jowls, those Limbaugh jowls. But I do know what I do have, and that's a bigger penis.
Wait. Don't you also, to be Rush Limbaugh, don't you have to have the pain reliever prescription?
Yes. Well, I think you mean off-market Viagra and OxyContin. That's a double whammy. Yeah. That's a double whammy. You know,
I know that's like some sort of drug cocktail I don't even want to get to know.
Well, yeah, but before we start bashing Limbaugh, we'll have plenty of time for that tonight. I promise you. Let's do our 538 report, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
As of 5:30, how's the music for you? I am not getting. It's too loud for me. What the hell? I guess the music button doesn't work on. That's a different one. As of 5:35 p.m. today, for the November 6th forecast, Barack Obama is projected to win 51.4% of the vote and take 317.1 electoral votes, which is an increase of 8.4 since September 21st. He has an 82.7% chance of winning. Mitt Romney, or Reversible Mittens as we call him here, is projected to receive 47.5% of the vote, win 220.9 electoral votes, which is down 8.4 since September 21st, and he has a 17.3 chance of winning. Now, if the election were held today, Obama is projected to receive 338 electoral votes and 52% of the popular vote, and has a 97.8% chance of winning. Romney, poor Romney, is projected to receive 199.7 electoral votes, 46.5% of the popular vote, and a 2.2% chance of winning. So, I think things are looking pretty good, don't you? We can cut the music, thank you. Let's it's looking good, John. And I mean, I know you're not the hardcore political nerd I am, but I'm pleased with those results.
Yeah, me too. Like, Romney, oh my god, he just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and his damage control is terrible. The airplane comment, oh my god, man.
The guy doesn't even understand the concept of explosive decompression. I'm a Japanese student. I mean, don't get me wrong, fan of science. I like science, but I'm not a physicist, and even I can my tiny pea brain can grasp the concept of explosive decompression. So, I guess that means I'm more qualified to be president than Mitt Romney.
Yeah, I mean, me too. As an art major, I hate science, but, I know, the validity of everything around me, and, decompression is no big problem. Bullshit!
So what you're saying is you're blinded by science.
Yes, she blinded me with science.
I know we're kind of stretching on that one, but I couldn't resist.
No problems, dude. It's all in a day, man.
So, But yeah, so things are looking up. And, like I said, it doesn't help that Mitt Romney, first of all, as I said about the Democratic National Convention, that wasn't the DNC we saw. That was, Barack Obama strapping Mitt Romney into an automatic ass-kicking machine for 3 days straight that was set to 11. Yeah. Spinal Tap reference!
Oh, I was gonna say, Spinal Tap must have made that machine, man.
But these go to 11. Yeah. Oh, nope, wrong one. Sorry about that. I'm just pulling my show prep up because I'm stupid.
On live radio, you have to bring that up, Adam. I am shocked.
Well, look, I am not just a liberal talk shows. And let's keep this straight. The mainstream media that you see, like MSNBC, Fox News, CBS, NBC, those are not liberal, those are corporate. I'm the liberal media. I will grant you current TV is the liberal media. I will grant you that, but this bullshit about MSNBC being liberal media is bullshit. They had Pat Buchanan on payroll for 12 years. I mean, I used to watch him and Bill Press, and I'm a Bill Press fanboy. I love Bill Press. But, Pat Buchanan, noted racist Pat Buchanan, former Nixon administration official Pat Buchanan on payroll, and they have former conservative Republican Congressman Joe Scarborough on paper, and we're going to have some schadenfreude with at Mr. Scarborough's expense. Don't get me wrong, I actually don't mind Joe Scarborough. For a Republican, I think he's a fairly decent guy, good family man. I don't agree with him much, but he's never been a dick,
Yeah, and, so many people just, lost focus on the family, in my opinion, but, it's just, we need to focus more on, the family and, what's going on with the family unit. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, so, I say let's get this kicked off. Let's talk about Ralph Reed, who's I don't like this guy. He's one of those my Christian penis is bigger than your Christian penis people. And he recently sent a survey comparing Barack Obama to Adolf Hitler. Okay. So, yes. Here is a sample question. And, John, why don't you answer? Let's pull up our Jeopardy music. Let's make this, there we go. John!
Yeah.
How much danger do you think liberty is in right now as a result of President Obama's policies, actions, and agenda for Americans' future? Do you think it's more serious than the threats we faced in World War II from Nazi Germany and the Japanese because the attack on liberty today is from our own government? Do you think it's more serious than the threat we faced from the Soviet Union during the Cold War? Do you think it's more serious than the American Civil War? All of the above? Serious but not as serious as the threats to liberty listed above? Or President Obama is not an enemy of liberty?
Can I substitute my own answer, please?
By all means. We're helpers here, John. We're gonna help Ralph Reed pull his head out of his ass and stop being a total dick. So by all means.
The difference between Barack Obama and Adolf Hitler is Barack Obama did not lead to the genocide of one certain group of people. Barack Obama has not contributed to any sort of genocide to one group of people. He has not contributed to any genocide.
And may I just say, I like that answer. That is approved. So, yes! But wait, there are more. The anti-communist... I think we could do without the Jeopardy music for now. The anti-American communist dictator of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, calls Barack Obama Comrade Obama and remarked that he believes President Obama is to the left of himself and Fidel Castro. So the question is, do you think Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro see President Obama as an ally of theirs, or do you think Chavez was just joking about President Obama's communist beliefs? Your choices are, I think Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro see President Obama as an ally of theirs, or I think Hugo Chavez was just joking. He and Fidel Castro really don't see President Obama as theirs.
I don't know that one. Like, Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro are both crazy motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, but notice, look at this. Was just joking about President Obama's communist beliefs. So they're saying, yeah, he's a communist, but do you think that these two jackasses were joking about that?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell for me because, like, I realize that, like, Hugo Chavez and, Fidel Castro are fucking crazy. And I don't know if they believe I don't know if they drink their own Kool-Aid. Like, they say something and then, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, I said something stupid, better damage control. But, I mean, I really don't know.
Okay, but yeah, so, I mean, this is a patently offensive. Wes said, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I don't keep track. He's like a fountain of wisdom.
Yeah.
But he said, just stop with the Nazi references. Stop with the Nazi references. I get it. I know it's... You can't call every conservative a Nazi or say they're like Hitler. But we have to keep in mind that fascism, as practiced in Nazi Germany, is a product of right-wing extremism, just as communism is a product of left-wing extremism. So, I mean, I'm not calling Ralph Reed a Nazi, but I'm saying, if the jackboots fit, So yeah, like I said, I mean, this guy, just let's get some deep background on Mr. Ralph Reed. Ralph Reed was Jack Abramoff's buddy in the Indian gambling scandal, and he currently heads up the Faith and Freedom Coalition, and he's spending $10 million. $10 million. I'm sorry, I'm horrible at that. To get out the evangelical vote. Now, I don't know if these evangelicals realize that, according to their faith, Mormonism is heresy. But whatever. But Romney has praised Reed for his turnout effort, saying Ralph Reed is doing a great job here with the Faith and Freedom Coalition. This is going to make a big impact across America, and I appreciate the work you are doing here. Who let the dogs out? Woof woof. The presidential candidate even gave Reed the ultimate honor of sharing a hotel room with him during the convention, which is not at all gay. Not that there's anything bad with that, but so yeah, I mean, what is with this guy? I mean, is he just a dick?
I mean, like, for years I have...
Sorry.
Shit.
No, that was me. That was me. Things are falling apart in the background. I mess with my setup.
For years, I mean, I've, identified as a Republican, and, just to hear all this stuff, it just makes me want to write several nasty letters to several people telling them to shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, and I've said this before. I don't know if you've been... Were you on with War before? My friend War?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's what I thought. You remember then what I said. I have no problem with Republicans. The classic Eisenhower-style Republicans. Those guys were actually sane.
Yeah.
You know? It's this the teabaggers. You got to separate the two. There's a difference between Republican and teabagger. I mean, most teabaggers vote Republican, but they're trying to pull the Republican Party to the right. The problem is, I can understand why they think Barack Obama is a socialist, communist. And it's simple. When you are to the right of Attila the Hun, everyone seems liberal, and Genghis Khan would be like, those motherfuckers have issues. So,
like, I don't know, man.
So Ralph Reed is, patently offensive, but that's a sign of their desperation. These people are desperate. They are. Rob Poole points out the GOP they're in their death throes, in some cases literally. Well, when your whole party is composed of old white Protestant men, you're going to run into demographic issues. And Romney doesn't help because he's completely unlikable. He doesn't, I know I use this term a lot. Go on.
You know where Romney loses disconnect? He's like, your old white guy, but he's a rich old white guy.
Right. And it's not that he's rich. That's not the problem. The problem is this guy was born into money, and he doesn't realize just how gifted he was. He honestly thinks he pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and he inherited everything. Even if he didn't keep the money and he, passed it to his sons, which I understand he did, he inherited his father's business connections, his father's name, his father, and George Romney was a good man. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything,
Yeah.
So, there you go. So this idea that, like I said, he's not a bootstrapper. Who is GOP owned? Identify yourself, please, sir. GOP owned. I'm curious as to who this is. A new guy. Never seen him before in my life. I swear.
It's probably that Steve Curtis guy off the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, I butt heads with that guy all the time.
Yeah. And I don't know if that guy's a corporate puppet or whatever.
I think he's just a troll. I think he's a very gifted troll. But moving on. So, have you heard that, okay, so I've been beginning the show recently by reading off the current statistics from 538. And 538.com, Nate Silver just does numbers. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's a math nerd. Yeah. You gotta give him mad props. The man, that's respect. You gotta give the guy respect for that. So, have you been hearing, okay, here is, here is Eric Fernstrom, who, I don't know, have you heard about the Etch-a-Sketch line, John?
I have.
So basically, John Fugel saying, this is the guy who said that Mitt Romney would remake himself for the general election like an Etch-a-Sketch. And that was John Fugelsang, fellow sexy liberal, who got him to say that on national TV. So here he is promoting this insane conspiracy theory.
Some of these polls have been called into question because they assume a higher Democratic turnout in 2012 than we experienced in 2008. I don't know of any campaign operative or political scientist in the country who thinks Democrats are going to show up in the same numbers.
So are you dismissing
4
these
years
polls?
ago? Look, what we expect is a close race, and the reason it's going to be a close race is because we have big choices at stake.
So, it's an evil conspiracy because the polls are not going Romney's way. There is something wrong with the polls.
I love how when their guy isn't doing great, like, it's an automatic conspiracy. Like fucking ancient aliens come down and are like, okay, we're gonna fuck with these polls just because we can.
Well, but wait, there's more. I mean, this is like the new meme. This is the new right-wing meme. It's that, so here is, Dick Morris. Now, let's get some background about Dick Morris. First of all, he got thrown out of the Clinton White House because he got caught sucking on prostitute toes.
Oh!
And he has never been right about anything ever. Just to put this in perspective, he said the 2008 race was between Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice. So, here is Dick Morris on, I believe, Sean Hannity. And Hannity's reaction to what Dick Morris says is absolutely hysterical. Take a listen.
Look, I don't feel I can predict here right now. I can't tell you what's going to happen on November 6th.
I can.
And I would urge the Romney campaign to act as though it's the fourth quarter, they're down a touchdown, and they need, no huddle offense, and they need to bring it into the end zone.
Yeah.
You say what?
Well, obviously, with 6 weeks to go, Romney could mess it up. I mean, he could lose the debates. But for him to lose this election, it would be so obvious that he's messed it up, because he's at the moment in a very strong position. I believe if the election were held today, Romney would win by 4 or 5 points. I believe.
Okay, let's pause to laugh. and even yeah. Okay, has everyone gotten that out? Has everyone gotten that out of their system? What reality does this guy live in?
I'm telling you, man, it's like some super bizarro world.
And get this, here's the thing. Even if you... Okay, first of all, there's a reason why they're oversampling Democrats. It's really simple. It's because there are more Democrats than Republicans! 24 minutes in and I've already lost my temper.
Oh, man. Is that some kind of record?
I've probably lost my temper earlier than that. Well, no, that is probably a record. But anyway, but wait, there's more.
He would carry Florida, Ohio, Virginia. I believe he would carry Nevada. I believe he would carry Pennsylvania.
Oh, come on.
Pennsylvania, and I believe he would be competitive in Michigan. I just saw...
Pause for more laughter. Romney is down by double digits in Michigan.
I love this, man. Like,
we're not even halfway through. This is a long clip. We're gonna have to go to break right after this clip, but here, let's try to finish this off.
Poll in Pennsylvania by a group that I've hired in the past, and I trust their polling.
2-point poll.
Yeah, 2 points behind.
Yeah.
And Rasmussen has it 5 points behind, 4 points. People need to understand that the polling this year is the worst it's ever been, because this is the first election where if I tell you who's going to vote, I can tell you how they're going to vote. You tell me that you're black or Latino or a college kid or a single mother, I'll tell you how you're going to vote, and if you tell me you're over 65, you're a man or a married white woman, I'll tell you how you're going to vote, and I'll be right 2 out of 3 times.
2 Oh, shit! This guy is
Calm down, Adam. Calm down.
Let's try to finish this clip. 2 out of 3.
Is who's going to vote. Polling is very good at saying how you're going to vote. It's very bad at saying who's going to vote. And the models these folks are using are crazy. They assume a Democratic edge of 6 or 7 points. I'm assuming a 3-point Democratic edge, and even that is very likely an overstatement. I went through every swing state poll in August and in September of the top super PACs in the country, and I looked at their party skewing. Between August and September, the Democratic Party lost 2 points over 7 states. The Republican Party gained 14 points over 7 states, 2 per state. What is happening in this country is that people are overwhelmingly concluding that this guy isn't up to being president. And the media is convincing us that Romney's gaffing and falling apart. I'm not buying the media. I think and it just is not how Americans are seeing this race.
Look, I think they're trying.
Wow! Talk about denial of reality, folks. Rob Poole points out the only way Romney could win is with widespread voter fraud, and that's right, and we're going to be talking about voter fraud just in a little bit. But we are running along on our break, so we're going to skedaddle. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. This is Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert and special guest co-host John Kendall out of the University of Montana, and the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Wes Karskadin, will be joining us sometime in the second hour. And at the top of next hour, Nicole Bell from Crooks and Liars. We'll see you at the top. We'll see you on the flip side.
I'm glad this argument is being conducted on a mature adult level.
This is Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
This is Jackson Brown, and you're listening to The Nicole Sandler Show.
This is Melissa Etheridge, and you're listening to my friend, Nicole Sandler.
Hey, this is Rob with Matchbox 20.
Hey, this is Chris Isaac.
Hi, this is Suzanne Vega.
Hey, this is Trey Anastasio, and you're listening to
my friend Nicole Sandler.
Bare Naked Ladies, you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
What's up? This is Howie Day, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
Hey, this is Henry.
And I'm JoJo. And I'm Ringo. And we're Los Lonely Boys, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
This is Kelly from Stereophonics, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
This is Evan Dando of the Lemonheads, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
Hi, my name's Jonathan Brooke, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
This is Pat Monahan from the band Train, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
This is Ziggy Marley, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
Hey, this is Pete Yorn, and you're listening to Nicole Sandler.
The lovely Nicole Sandler.
Nicole Sandler. Nicole is awesome.
The Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com. Music to my ears.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bulletin with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
This is Kip Whistler filling in for Stan Douglas, who's on assignment at the Republican National Headquarters in Washington, D.C. Let's see how he's doing. Stan, are you there?
It's unbelievable, Chip. I'm directly across the street from the RNC headquarters, and countless numbers of huge rats are literally spilling out of the place. I better move back.
Stan, can you tell me if they're wharf rats or sewer rats?
What the hell difference does it make? It's a horrific, roiling ratscape is all I know. And wait. They all seem to be hailing tiny little taxi cabs.
Are you going to follow them, Stan?
No, Chip. I'm waiting for Republicans. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I don't have to wear shoes around here. Sweet. This HowdyLand.com news bullet was totally rat-proof by experts an hour after Stan Douglas left on assignment. I'm Chip Whistler.
If you want talk, go to the other guys. If you want conversation, go to Ray Medeiros at USAProgressive.com.
The American people need to hold the Republican Party accountable. They're not willing to raise taxes on millionaires and billionaires in order to pay for American infrastructure, put Americans back to work, and educate American children. Yet they're willing to add to the national debt in order to go into another war, this time against Iran.
USAProgressive.com. The conversation starts here.
Adam Hebert.
Seems sensitive in a naive kind of way.
Adam Hebert.
He's a big fat dork. And he's denser than lead, too. He wouldn't know how to relate to another person if you gave him a manual.
Oh, I see.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
I'm sorry, I was just reading my manual on how to relate to other people. I thought that would be a cute gag. But, I mean, that's probably actually more relevant to Mitt Romney than me. You know, you could give him the fucking manual and he'd still piss people off. Do I lie? So, let's keep on talking about this, okay, so the new theme of the Republican Party is
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Thank you, Adam Savage. Here is El Rashbo, or Kenny calls. I like Kenny's nickname for him, Limbaugh the Hutt. Ho ho ho. Or Kenny has two themes for Rush depending on what he said. You know, if it's racist, it's Rush the big fat racist. If it's just general stupidity, Limbaugh the Hutt. So here is Al Rashbo explaining the polls.
What do we have? We have a Democrat-orchestrated and a media-orchestrated narrative today. And you're probably mad at me for repeating it so often. It is the Clinton bump. Clinton got a big bump for Obama coming out of that convention because he told people that Obama cares, and Michelle told people Obama cares, and everybody knows that Romney doesn't care, but Obama really cares. He cares about it. He loves us. He wants all of us to know that he really loves us, and nobody's working any harder, and nobody could have done any better. And you couple that with the fact that the Romney campaign's a wet noodle, and it's over. It's over. Now, that's the narrative. Rather than fight the narrative, I'm not throwing in the towel on this stuff. I'm not buying into this. Rather than fight the narrative, we're going to sit here and we're going to analyze it and explain it. And the only way any of this can be true is if the American people are at a record level of stupidity. The only way this narrative today can be true is if we have lost the country and everybody in it, or a big enough majority to vote Democrat. It's just plain dumb, not just ignorant and stupid. And so when you see a headline, United States economy still weak, but more people feel secure, the economy's falling apart in front of everybody's eyes, and yet we're on the right track. Obama's the answer. Well, how stupid do you have to be? Do you think this would be the narrative if Bush? The economy under Bush was 3 times as healthy as this.
What? Stop. What? Is my mic still on? Okay, good. My mic's still on. There's only one way to reply to that.
Well, that sounds really shallow and stupid.
Okay. I've got a couple of good jokes here for you, Adam.
Okay,
number one. Like Rush Limbaugh would know anything about big bumps anywhere.
Oh my god! John Kendall with the Rush Limbaugh penis joke!
Number two. The only wet noodle the only wet noodle Rush Limbaugh knows about is the one that's in his pants. No, I take that back. That is an insult to macaroni.
By a staggering coincidence, next week, our guest is Macaroni, the official rapper of the Stephanie Miller Show. So, well, let's get this straight. Rush Limbaugh is saying, if the polls are right, it's because we're stupid. Derp. No, actually, Rush, it's quite the opposite. It means America gets it. They realize it was Bush who almost torpedoed the economy of the entire fucking world. George W. Bush wasn't just an American disaster, he was a world disaster.
You douche.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's not just Rush. It's everyone on the right. Oh my, there's something wrong with the polls, or the American people are just stupid. It's one or the other. They're going through the stages of grief. They're at acceptance, and they're trying to explain their inevitable ass kicking. Yeah. And they just don't want to accept the fact that their ideas suck ass. Their solution for everything is a tax cut. Unless you're a woman, in which case their solution is ban abortion. So, yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, these people, I mean, like I said, talk about denial of reality.
Yeah.
It's like... So yeah, that's that. This is what we're dealing with. A total divorcing of themselves from reality. And I'm really worried this could be leading to violence, because Rush Limbaugh, I mean, he reaches like 1 million listeners a week. Whoop the shit. That's, or maybe it's like 13 million. That's still less than, I think it's like, 2 million. I don't know exactly how many. I have to pull the numbers. But it's like 1% of America.
Yeah. It's just like ridiculous to like come up with these excuses to why you suck. I mean, it's like everybody said, I mean, or like you were saying, you know, the Republican Party is disconnected from everything. And, you know, they're just coming up with reasons why, they suck. But, like everything else, these ideas suck.
Yeah, like I said, they've got no ideas. It's tax cuts. Excuse me. It's tax cuts, forced Christianity on the American people. I mean, it's like a formula. We at least try things. Obamacare, that was the Heritage Foundation's plan. The Heritage Foundation, they're the original teabaggers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only two things that the Republicans want to govern are taxes and vaginas.
I think it's simpler than that, John. I think they're just obsessed with power. They want power. They want power over people. They want power over you, over me, over over non-Christians, over non-straight white heterosexual Protestant men. That's one thing. The conservative mindset generally is about power. And they get off exercising it. That's how they get their jollies. That's how they, that's probably like the one time Rush Limbaugh has a stiffy. And I can say that, unlike Kenny Pick, because we're not on an FCC station. And we're probably never going to be unless I try to clean up our act.
What good is that, Adam, if we try to clean up our act?
Hey, if I get an offer, I'll take it. I'll sell my soul. No, I won't. I mean, I would go on an FCC station, but only if I could continue doing my show. So we've established total divorce from reality. Again, it looks like the current Republican thing is...
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
And again, thank you, Adam Savage, for that immortal line from Mythbusters. So, let's talk a bit about, since we're talking about polling, and let's talk about the GOP sugar daddy, Sheldon Adelson. Now, this is the guy who said his one regret in life was that he fought in the uniform of the United States Army. I can't find this clip. I've heard it. I can't find it.
So it's kind of like Rush Limbaugh's penis.
I need a rim shot. Do I have a rim shot? No, I don't have a rim shot. Are we gonna have to play the Shrinky Dinks commercial over the next break? Shrinky Dinks!
If this keeps going, yes. Yes.
So let's talk about Adelson. So this is the guy who was pledged $100 million to beat Barack Obama in this election. And this is also the guy who once said, if being rich equals being smart. Now, I don't know where he got that from, because I've known plenty of stupid rich people. George W. Bush! I'm sorry.
Adam, you need to see a doctor.
I think I do. But it's like, you keep on thinking that, Shelley. So, let's do some review. When SCOTUS, or SCROTUS, Supreme Court Republicans in the United States, decided Citizens United, one of their reasons, and this is part of the decision, is that they could find no proof that money in politics brings about corruption. And of course, forehead, face palm.
SMH.
So, from Huffington Post, the top reason Adelson gave for backing Romney and opposing Barack Obama is, quote, self-defense, referencing the probe into Las Vegas Sands Corp. Adelson said a second Obama term would bring government vilification to people that were against him. He thinks he would be at the top of that list and contends that he already has been targeted for his political activity. No, motherfucker! It's because you're a corrupt kingpin! I mean, his casinos engage in organized prostitution overseas. I mean, so Adelson's casino empire, the bulk of which is based in Asia, is being investigated for bribery and money laundering. He also claims the Justice Department, the DOJ, is disparaging him in the press. When I see what's happening to me in this company about accusations that are unfounded, that kind of behavior has to stop. So obviously he has to buy the election, so he can get a different guy in there who will appoint a different attorney general who will say, "There's nothing there. Just take my weird word for it, okay?" Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Raise middle finger. Futurama reference. Thank you. So, isn't this proof positive that the presence of money in politics by default breeds corruption, John?
Let's see. Yes. Money, there's a reason they say money is the root of all evil. Because, look, Mitt Romney is rich. Thank you, I'll be here all week.
And don't forget, though, I believe the Bible refers to money as the filthy lucre.
Ooh, now we're getting... Uh-oh. Adam, there's going to be Republicans knocking on your door.
Yep. So what you're saying is, we're going to be hearing something like this?
Take your army to the haunted forest and bring me that girl and her dog. Do what you like with the others, but I want her alive and unharmed. Now fly! Fly!
That is like the gift that keeps on giving.
I know. I was on the first time when you unveiled that, and I am glad that you pulled that out again.
I mean, I just want to say, Dana, thank you for this. It's the
army to the haunted.
Sorry. That's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, I thought herpes was the gift that keeps on giving, but that's a different subject.
That too. So, and I should point out that comedy bit, with the monk, with the wicked witch, that is actually by Mike and Rollins. God damn it, Rocky Mountain Mike.
The guy that did this chair talking guy.
Yes, I never got a chance to play that on the air. Yeah, this here chair talk. Yeah,
Adam, I think we lost viewers because of that.
I'm actually, no, we're holding strong at... Holy shit, we've got 7 viewers. That's like a new record. So yeah, money plus politics equals corruption. Why do you think Al Capone was able to own all of Chicago during Prohibition? Because he was lousy with money, and he knew you could buy off politicians if you flashed enough cash.
I thought it was just because he looked good in a suit.
Well, you have to admit, we Italians do look pretty damn good in a suit.
I will commend that.
With me excluded, because, as I've observed before, I have a face that's made for radio. Which means I'm fugly. So thank you. I'm here. Well, I'm not here all week. We're only a once a week show. But John is. He can man the chat room all week long. No, I'm just joking. But no, seriously. And this is one of the reasons why the Republicans are scared. They are pissing their pants scared. They know Citizens United was a 5-4 decision. The next president of the United States is going to appoint at least 2, possibly 3 justices. Kennedy will retire. I predict that if Obama wins, we're going to see Kennedy and Ginsburg retire in the next term, after this current term. Kennedy is a little right of center. He's not going to let Romney appoint a successor. He's not going to retire. He'll die before he resigns. And Scalia, who is fatter than holy hell, probably isn't going to live much past 80. Well, then again, how old is Cheney? Cheney's like, what, 70-something?
Yeah, but he's packing many hearts, dude. Like,
and you know who's paying for those, right?
Yeah. The good old American tax.
I thought that was socialism.
Nope.
Damn. So yeah,
Dick Cheney is 71, by the way, Adam.
Yeah, so, I believe me, as a fellow Italian, I know how fattening Italian food is. Scalia is not gonna, Scalia, maybe, I think he's gonna retire. I really do. I think he's gonna say, I just can't take it. I'm done. Believe me, I hope that's the case. Don't wait, Scalia! You can retire now, and no one will hold it against you. I promise. In fact, we'll give you a ticker tape parade. I'll lead. I'll be the grand marshal of your parade. Just retire. Please. So yeah. Money and politics don't mix is the moral of this segment. So we're gonna get ready to go to break. I forgot. Pause the music for a second, please. I forgot to mention that the music you heard on last break was a remix of the battle against King Koopa, your very first battle in Super Mario RPG. I'm an old school Super Nintendo RPG fanboy, so a lot of my remixes are Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6. Although I've got all Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG. I'd like to get some Earthbound, but no one has any. So gotta do the housekeeping, right, John?
Yeah.
So anyway, we are going to go to break. When we come back, we will get the lovely Nicole Bell from Crooks and Liars. She is on and waiting, so I joke. I control everything. GOP owned. So yes, we will be back shortly after this break with the lovely and talented Nicole Bell from Crooks and Liars. You don't want to miss this one.
friends, this is Tom Hartman.
This is Stephanie Miller.
Hey, this is Hal Sparks.
I'm Brad Friedman. I approve of Nicole Sandler's RadioOrNot.com.
Radio or Not.
Radio or Not.
RadioOrNot.com.
RadioOrNot.com.
RadioOrNot.com. RadioOrNot.com.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bulletin with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
Though largely ignored by the so-called mainstream media during this election cycle, former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin has been making the rounds of the talk show circuit to, well, be on TV. Early today, she made a surprise appearance on cable television's popular Don't Stick Your Finger in That.
Sarah Palin, don't stick your finger in that!
Later today, Palin is expected to stop by the set of Slap Me Silly for a bit of the old oggity-oggity. This HowdyLand.com news bullet is hunched over in the cold wind and about to pull its collar close and light a cigarette. I'm Stan Douglas.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show.
That right-wing Republican from Texas was only helping Dennis because he thought Dennis would be easier for Joe the plumber to beat than
Wow.
Ken.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, a pet rock would have been better candidate than Joe the plumber. I think he might actually have been a pet rock before he was a non-plumber. So, but he was a union pet rock, never mind. Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ Killjoy detective.
It's Adam Hebert with Mike Check Radio.
Mike is hot. I think we're ready to go. We are back for hour number 2. Joining me is our super special guest co-host, John Kendall, out of the University of Montana.
Hello, guys. I'm back again.
He's back. So are you still in Jesse Hall?
Yes. I will probably never leave Jesse Hall until I graduate.
Okay, I was just curious. No, it's nothing of consequence. But speaking of things that are of consequence, let's get us some Nicole Bell, shall we? Are you ready, John?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I've taken a drink.
John, no, it's okay. My friend Rob says, Adam, I think everyone wishes you had someone to run your board. Believe me, if someone wants the job, they can have it. Just don't expect a paycheck, because I'm still waiting on my Soros check. Soros, you owe me money, you bastard! I mean, add people to this call. Sorry. Yes, let's add Nicole Bell. Geopone says you can pay me with hugs. Nicole Bell, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are sounding great. I mean, so now you've discovered Skype, and I think there's that. I mean, let's do this right. You know, we don't have the same applause. You know, a double one because you're on Skype now. That's great. So,
I'm on Skype. Yeah. Yes.
So,
widely abused by my nieces and nephews in Los Angeles to contact me.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for agreeing to join us in such short notice. I you know, it's just school. You know, it's like, damn it, I forgot to book a guest.
Oh, no problem.
So, but thank you. But I really like. So the reason why I asked Nicole Bell on is because, well, first of all, she always has something interesting to say. But this week, our good friend Matt Emmer of Messaging Matters and Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick on the Radio or Not station every Tuesday and Friday, released an interview with you, and I have to say it was very interesting, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when I say I have some thoughts as an Army brat about certain parts of that. So, I was raised on 3 different Army bases. So, let's get to
where
it.
were you raised?
I was the first base was Fort Campbell, and then Fort Carson, Colorado, and then finally Fort Rucker, Alabama. And my father still works at Fort Rucker as a contractor. So, father.
Did you have overseas then? There was no overseas duties?
No, my father was supposed to go to Germany, and he asked that his orders be changed because they were afraid I couldn't get treatment for my learning disability. And of course, I was an unholy terror as a child. And I'm sure that Republicans will say he still is an unholy terror. But they just felt it would be easier to, get treatment here, because, they may not have my medication there. So, I mean, like I said, that's what they told me way, way, way after the fact.
Sure.
Yeah. How long has this interview been in the works? I mean, when did Matt approach you about it?
I would say like 3 weeks ago or so, and then he approached me before the debates. And then he sent me my questions right before the debates occurred, but they asked me about the debate, so I sort of had to wait until I had watched the debates before I could respond to him. So I would say it was about 3 weeks altogether.
Okay. I'm curious to know about how, just in case, he has methods that I might find useful, you never know. But no, it was definitely a very interesting read. Would you care to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's a little disconcerting for me to be on the opposite side of the interview, but, Matt was talking, and Matt wanted to know a little bit about sort of how I got politically involved and what my focus has been at Crooks and Liars, and, why I sort of focus on messaging and framing really is sort of my bugaboo about everything I do at Crooks and Liars is, how are these issues that affect everybody framed? So that was sort of it. I am notoriously gun shy about giving out too much information about my personal life because I was not an Army brat. I was a State Department brat. And so there are aspects of my life that I can't share because it involves things that my dad did that I can't talk about.
Right. State secrets. I understand.
Right. So, and plus, honestly, when I got into blogging, I was writing highly critical stuff about the Bush administration during the Bush administration, and that was a time when they were not looking fondly upon critics. Mm-hmm. So I had to be very careful. I didn't want them to have too much information about me, period, that could come back to haunt, my family later. So,
right. Well, like I said, I certainly hope I haven't gone, over the line. I was just genuinely curious, but
no. Yeah, no, you haven't. But one of the things that I talk about is I did spend the majority of my childhood not living in the United States. And so I lived very much as the other. And I think that experience has really informed my politics in terms of understanding what it's like to be the one outside. And I think you can't do that. You can't travel and not be liberal, I think, because it does really open you up to all sorts of experiences and all sorts of cultures, and you find what's great about all of them. You find out what's common about all of them, because I've lived in both very, what they call socialist democracies in Northern Europe, and I've lived in the Middle East, and you couldn't get a bigger dichotomy in terms of lifestyle, but yet you have to make your way through them, and so what you do is you look for those commonalities.
Yeah. Well, believe me, I wish I did have a chance to go abroad. Maybe it's in my future. I'm still doing the Japanese thing, so but I think that's really neat. I wish I could have had that sort of experience in my childhood. To be able to go
I think it's never too late to travel. My niece, who is probably close to your age, Adam, when she graduated from college with a journalism degree a few years ago, I sort of laughed at her and said, "Oh, you poor kid, because that's such a dead profession." Thanks to people like me. But she knocked around San Francisco for a couple of years trying to stay employed during a collapsing economy, and realized there wasn't really anything for her to do other than just always be in line for the next layoff. So she decided to do something a little scary and teach English as a second language abroad. And for her, the place that would be the most extreme from what she was used to was an Arab country. So she actually went to Egypt, learned Arabic so that she could then teach Arabic students how to speak English, and then worked in Egypt, worked in Turkey, worked in, I'm trying to remember, Dubai, and then said, you know what, I'm up for another challenge. So now she is in Taiwan, and she's learning Chinese as she's teaching English to Chinese students.
Well, if she ever wants help with Japanese, if she decides to give Japan a try, I have a few good senseis she could, ask. One of those things that I don't think you ever are sorry for having that experience. And, my niece is in her mid-20s, and I'm like, there's never going to be a point in your life where you're not going to have things that are going to tie you down. I can't leave and move to Europe as easily now because I have a husband and a mortgage and children, and I can't pick up and go. But I had that experience. I had the experience of living in Europe. I know what it's like, and it was, it really has informed everything that I do here and how I raise my kids. So, since you've lived in Europe extensively, is it as bad as the Republicans claim it is? I already know the answer, but...
It really isn't. Ironically, I married a Dane, so I go back to Denmark quite frequently to this day, take my kid to Denmark. And no, it is not very bad at all. And one of the things I told Matt in the interview was back when I was in high school about 100 years ago, I was offered an invitation to go to a Young Leaders of Tomorrow conference that was being held at Pepperdine University. And the fact that it was being held at Pepperdine University should have tipped me off that it was actually a Young Republicans club. But I was stupid and naive and didn't realize that, and I said, hey, I get to spend, a week at Pepperdine. This sounds great. I'll do it. And I got treated to lecture after lecture by Republicans telling us how great America was. And one of those lecturers was General Norman Schwarzkopf. And, I really kind of made him bluster a little bit because he got up and he started that, American exceptionalism thing, like, we're the greatest country in the world, everybody follows us, yada, yada. And I just kind of held up my hand. I said, excuse me, General Schwarzkopf, I lived in Sweden, and in Sweden, every kid can go to college for free if they want to. How is that not better than what we have here? And, he goes, no, you don't understand, young lady. You can do whatever you want. You're not limited here. Not like those other countries where your opportunities are decided by, where you were born. I said, well, actually, General Schwarzkopf, my sister, who was very young at the time, had leukemia. And I said, my parents thankfully have the insurance to take care of her, but in Sweden, there would have been nothing. It would have been no issue about her going and getting care because my parents wouldn't have had to, almost lose their job taking her for their care. That stuff is covered as well. And at that point, the organizers sort of rushed me out of the auditorium because it was upsetting General Schwarzkopf.
They get that gigantic cartoon hook.
Yeah, it really was. And but it was one of those things where I could see in his face that he knew that I knew I got him. And it was a very small but powerful victory for me because I knew, as much as you want to say rah rah rah, we're the best country in the world, and in many ways we are. We have a lot to learn from these socialist democracies that we make fun of and castigate. Oh. Okay. No. Are they not getting... Do you want to call me back and see if that works?
There we go. I'll fix that shot. This should work. It's just I have different shots, and I have for my guests, I have a shot that has their name and where they are, where they're from. And when I switched shots, I think that's why I did it. So if the chat room, if you can hear me, I need to know. Okay, yeah, it was the shot. I apologize, but so just out of curiosity, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it illegal for a military official to engage in partisan political activities while in uniform?
It is, I believe. I mean, he wasn't actually technically in uniform while he was doing it, so I guess that alleviates it. And technically, it wasn't a Republican event, although it was, for all intents and purposes, a Republican event. So I think I'm not going to get after General Schwarzkopf over that, but one of his parting shots to me as the organizers were leading me out of the auditorium was, "Young lady, it's been said that if you're a liberal when you're young, if you're not a liberal when you're young, you have no heart. But if you're not conservative by the time you're older, you have no brain." And I think that was kind of close to the line there in terms of what is wrong, what would be wrong with him advocating a political stance.
I would say it's over the line because he's basically calling over half the country stupid. Maybe not overtly, but he's saying, you don't have a brain if you don't agree with me when you're older. I would be like, General, with all due respect, bite me.
Right.
But I have a temper. My great-grandparents came from Italy, so
my grandparents came from Ireland, so I have a nasty Irish temper.
Well, I'm glad I haven't been on the receiving end of that, so thank you. But no, I mean, like I said, that as an army brat just really bothered me. I have addressed generals before. Well, a general once before. and it was General Riggs at Fort Carson. He came to a convention I was addressing, and I was chosen out of my group to deliver our ideas, because it was basically how do we improve life for the military, for the military families, and they picked me. It's like, but there's a guy out there who could write my dad up if I don't do well. So yeah, I would have, if that were me now in your situation, I would have lost my temper. Excuse me. And no, before anyone asked, I'm sorry.
Yeah, at the time I was 16, 17 years old, so I think that it was just brave enough for me to point out some, discrepancies in his argument. But I think I would be a little too intimidated to get upset with him. But not that I'm defending General Schwarzkopf, because I'm certainly not. But I think the notion of what it was to be a conservative back then and what it means to be now have really changed. I don't believe that General Schwarzkopf, I haven't seen him in public, so I can't say, but I don't believe that he would fall into the crazy fringe right wing that we have now, the ones that reject science and reject global warming and that are just literally insane in the head about, taxes being equal to destroying freedoms. I don't believe that he'd be like that. And I was on Talking Left with Shano and Danielle, and I was saying I think it will be interesting this year to break out the military vote and see where the military stands. If the military continues to be, generally conservative in their vote support, or if what Mitt Romney has done, considering who Mitt Romney is, has really caused them to drift over to the Democrats.
Well, I would hope that they were smart. Well, I'm sorry, that's rude. But after those 47% comments, if I were a military person, I'd be like, well, first of all, Romney was a draft dodger. Let's be frank. He protested.
Wait, if you're Frank, can I be Steve?
I'm sorry, Nicole. I forgot to mention we have a special guest co-host tonight, John Kendall, from out of the University of Montana. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want to interrupt.
No, I was listening to her stories and just taking it all in because I'm 26 years old, and just to hear about other people's experiences is fucking amazing to me.
Oh, to be 26 again, John.
I'm a 26-year-old student at the University of Montana, so I'm starting on life late, man, but I'll get there.
I actually know someone who teaches at the University of Montana.
Do you mind if I ask who?
Hayden. Oh, shoot. I'm so bad with last names. He teaches in the classics department.
See, I don't think I had any class of classics. I was mostly in the Japanese department. Huh?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you take classical mythology with Linda Jillison?
Yes, I did.
Classics department.
I think that's out of the language department.
Nope.
This is college talk. No, no. Nicole, for full disclosure, I am a mythology nerd.
I totally am behind that. I actually love that.
Joseph Campbell fan. Anyway, I have a couple of stories that you'll be interested in. That I would think you'll be interested in after the break, including shots being taken at a Democratic headquarters down in Alabama. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But I mean, are there any other highlights from this interview that you would like to cover? I noticed you referenced Blazing Saddles, and I'm sure that made Kenny Pick very happy.
Kenny and I are pretty close in age, and he and I have the same exact cultural references. Every time I listen to his show and I hear all of these sound bites from movies, I'm like, I know that movie, I know that, got that one on DVD, got that one, just watched that with my kid. It's hilarious. So we're very much in sync in that regard.
Well,
and
I mean, I'm a huge...
Saddles looms large in my family mythology.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's Spaceballs. That is probably my favorite Mel Brooks movie, because that's when I was like, that was the Mel Brooks movie that was big when I was getting old enough to watch movies like Blazing Saddles. I'm also fond of Clue, starring Tim Curry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I can make my dad, who is now in his 70s, retired, laugh like to the point of falling down on the floor if I just go, "Oh, wed woes, how romantic."
Yep.
And
Madeline
I can
Kahn.
make my dad will fall over laughing. So I have literally seen Blazing Saddles at least 100 times.
Yeah, well, like I said, I never knew Madeline Kahn was in Blazing Saddles until I saw it, but I knew Madeline Kahn from Clue, and when I heard she passed, and I think it was like 98, she was still very young, and she was such a talented comedian. I mean, in History of the World, she was just hysterical.
Yeah.
But with me, a lot of it's like anime references. So I've got
please God, grant me a girl. Please,
please
God.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant to play that one, but that's from Persona 4, the animation. And then I've got Reboot. So I mean, yeah, I do a lot of those. I'm also a huge Mystery Science Theater fan.
I am too.
Yeah. So
I cannot tell you the biggest thrill I got was listening to the Stephanie Miller show just like last month. And John Fugelsang was hosting, and he had Frank Conniff from Mystery Science Theater. And Frank Conniff said, "Oh, I love Crooks and Liars." And I mean, I'm listening to it in the car with my kids, and I just let out this big, huge whoop, like, Frank Conniff reads my website.
Believe you me.
I mean, that's enormous to me.
Well, I mean, the guy's a legend. I mean, I've seen him live with Cinematic Titanic. And if you ever get a chance, Nicole, if you get a chance, see Cinematic Titanic. I got
to get him out here to San Francisco.
They're out there now and then, and they've got. I'll send you a link to the Hulu channel. They've got 10 of their movies up.
Oh,
it's
I love
hysterical. Anywho, we're gonna go to break. We're on with Nicole Bell for hopefully Wes Karscan will be here soon. Were you on with him last time, Nicole? I forget.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, he is on. I'm surprised he hasn't poked me yet. But my co-host Wes Karscaden will be joining us after the break, and the music for this break is a remix of what's it called? Gerudo Valley from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, one of the greatest games ever made, and it's called Gerudo Peoples, I think. We will be back shortly. We'll do the Green News Report at the top of next hour, because I don't want to take time from our interview with Nicole Bell. So we'll see you in a little bit.
If Shinji is denser than lead, then
Adam Hebert
is off the atomic scale.
Really?
Yup.
This is Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Unfiltered truth, news, and opinion. Filter-free radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott.
You can always go back to Rome and Greece, and then let's face it, kingdoms. It wasn't until a couple hundred years ago that we realized that, hey, monarchies don't work. Let's think of another kind of system of governance. It's something a little less hierarchical, if you will, at least concentrated power. Then again, when you're dealing with money, capitalism is about money and the exchange of money, then concentrated power works really well.
Radio or Not and filterfreeradio.com. Are you living in a progressive talk void? If so, be sure to visit leftwingradiosstations.com. The state-by-state listing is a quick and easy way to find any left-wing talk radio station across America, from sea to shining sea. Your progressive talk nirvana is only a click away at leftwingradiosstations.com. Be sure to like Left Wing Radio Stations on Facebook and share it with your friends. leftwingradiosstations.com. United we stand.
And we are at an impasse.
I'm afraid so. I can't compete with you physically, and you're no match for my brains.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Adam Hebert.
Yes?
Morons.
You're listening to Adam Hebert and Mike Check Radio.
And I just would like to point out, well, first of all, I should have microphone now. My volume thing is going up and down. But I just want to point out that this week, I believe September 25th was the 25th anniversary of The Princess Bride. So I just had to use that one. Yeah. Anywho, I was mistaken. It looks like Wes has left Skype on all week long. Because I should have known better when he didn't say anything. But hopefully he will be joining us soon, because I did tell him we'd be having, I did politely encourage him to be here as soon as possible. But we do have special guest co-host John Kendall out of the University of Montana.
Hello.
And Nicole Bell from Crooks and Liars.
That's me.
And again, Nicole, I just want to say, darn it, I've got the hiccups again. Thank you for joining us. I do appreciate it. This story, when I saw this, I knew I had to, I was like, I have to get, see what Nicole thinks about this. So the headline is, and I couldn't find audio. Actually, this is from Crooks and Liars, so you may have already read it. This is by, Carolee, but shots fired at Mobile, Alabama Democratic headquarters. Have you read this one yet, Nicole?
Yeah. Yes, okay. I read it. I read everything at Crooks and Liars.
Well, but I mean, this is pretty new. I think I saw this one last night, so I can't take anything for granted. So, the story is that Wednesday morning, a window at the Mobile, Alabama Democratic headquarters was shattered after it was hit by a bullet. Now, apparently the story is being revised, and they're saying, well, it doesn't look like a bullet. I looked at the picture that Carolee provided, and it looks similar to bullet through glass, bullets through tempered glass, that sort of damage that I've seen. I mean, you can see, you can see the hole. I mean, it looks to me like it was a gunshot. And, this isn't the first, let's say this wasn't deliberate. Well, there's been other stuff like this. You've got, a place in Indiana being bombed. A bomb was placed in a Democrat candidate's mailbox, and it exploded. I mean, is this a precursor, in your opinion, of things to come if Barack Obama wins re-election, Nicole?
I was hoping we weren't going to go there. Yeah, actually, I think it is.
I'm sorry,
and
I didn't mean
that it's a valid question, and it is something that I have been very afraid of the closer we get to the election, because I mean, honestly, I never realized the depth of the racism in this country, and part of that is because I haven't lived where it's been socially acceptable to be very, very racist. But I never realized the depths of the racism until Barack Obama got into office and people just lost their heads. And I think we have created this culture, and where it is now acceptable that if you disagree politically with someone, that you can act out violently against them.
Yeah.
That using a gun is a legitimate form of debate, basically. And we see this over and over again, and the media and the cops, for whatever reason, when it's targeting a Democrat, like to paint this as a lone wolf kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But really, if you look at the militias in this country, you look at right-wing radio, you look at the way that right-wing politicians stir up this sense of anger, this sense of otherness against anyone who disagrees with you politically, this is just flat-out domestic terrorism.
Well, it's like if earlier a couple shows ago we played some clips from the Values Voters Summit because apparently, Nicole, we don't have values when we vote. But from a gentleman named I forget. He's the guy who goes around claiming he was a Muslim terrorist and now he's reformed because of Jesus Christ. I forget his name, but he pisses me off because he's a con man. He's a con man. But he says, if you want to change a terrorist, introduce him to Jesus. It's like some of our worst terrorists have been Christians. Scott Roeder, assassin of Dr. Tiller in Kansas. Shelley Shannon, who firebombed abortion clinics. And I believe Shelley Shannon also took a pot shot at Dr. Tiller.
Alan Rudolph, is it Alan? Adam Rudolph.
Eric.
The guy, Eric Rudolph. Right, the guy who bombed Liberty Plaza in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not saying all right-wingers are terrorists, but generally, terrorists are right-wingers. There are some Democrats who do, liberals who do stupid stuff, and, it's like with, the Madonna thing this week where she said Barack Obama was a Muslim. It's tongue-in-cheek, but you just want to shout, "You're not helping!"
Yeah.
But part of the problem is we were talking about the poll truthers earlier. John and I were talking about that in the first hour, and it seems to me that the current theme, the current meme on the Republican Party, and I just love this clip because, I'm sorry, I apologize, John, if I'm abusing it, but
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
That's the new Republican motto. And they're being told, no, don't believe the polls. Barack Obama's losing. He's going to lose in November. Trust us. And when you tell people stuff like that, and they actually, let's face it, they believe what they're being told. I believe that's setting the stage for violence after Election Day, because they're going to be saying, this, they stole the election. All the polls said Mitt Romney was winning. No, they weren't, dumbass. Uh-oh. What? I have a microphone, so we'll go back to my original. So I look at stuff like this and I worry. I mean, if they're taking shots at Democratic headquarters just because, they don't like Democrats, what's going to happen? When Barack Obama wins, and it's looking like he's going to win in a landslide. It looks like the only state he's not going to carry is North Carolina, and even that's, a toss-up. So
yeah, I am wary about counting those chickens before they hatch because of the voter suppression laws, and all of the extreme things that Republicans are doing to depress the vote. So, and At this point, I'm cautiously optimistic. I also think that the Republicans couldn't possibly have picked a worse candidate for these times than Mitt Romney, but I'm a little nervous about saying, yeah, he's going to win in a landslide. But I do think that they are setting up the situation for them to delegitimize this election. Absolutely.
Right. They're setting up
and
the
I think
narrative
that they
now.
are right, and they absolutely are going to make some people crazy. And we see aspects of that now. There was a guy who got arrested for blocking an Obama motorcade, and he had bomb materials in the back of his truck. You know, we're already starting to see that bubbling to the surface. I do think that there is more than likely more violence about that will happen, as much as it scares me to say that. And I will also say, being someone who apparently has very low expectations, for me, the only job Barack Obama has at this point is to survive.
Right.
I am not going to sit here and say he has to be the most liberal president out there. He cannot save us. All he can do is survive. And as long as he survives, then we are in a position to have a more liberal president in 2016.
Right.
I think.
That's what I don't get is, if I were Republican, and heaven help the Democrats, because I can be an evil mastermind at times. Oh, and I just found out Wes is here.
Hey,
Wes.
I didn't want to interrupt.
We'll play your jingle in a little bit, but apparently Wes left Skype on all week long. So we'll take care of that. We'll take care of. But Wes, just so you know, you're on with me, John Kendall out of the University of Montana, and Nicole Bell of Crooks and Liars. And since you brought up voter fraud, Nicole Bell, well, first of all, I want to say that we do have some very positive news out of Wisconsin, in that the Supreme Court has decided to not hear the appeal of the decision of the Dane County judge, whose name I was stupid enough not to look up. He ruled it unconstitutional. Oh no, I'm thinking of the union law. Well, I guess this law was also found unconstitutional, and it will not be in effect for the 2012 election. So let's
the voter ID.
Yes, the voter ID. Okay. The decision not to take up the case was made unanimously, and there's a 4-3 conservative majority. So the fact that it was unanimous says these guys were like, you know, we're stupid. We're not that stupid. So, but I also want you to take a listen to this. This is out of Colorado. I'm sure you've probably heard this. This is someone trying to register voters, and this just steams my buns.
Hello. Yeah, hi.
Alright, so I am polling people, but would you vote for Romney or Obama?
Well, wait, I thought you were registering voters a minute ago.
I am.
Okay. And who are you registering? All voters?
Well, I'm actually trying to register people for a particular party because we're out here in support of Romney, actually.
And who's paying you for this?
Oh, let me see. We're working for the county clerk's office.
Okay, you cannot come out here and register one party, lady. Are you working for the county clerk's office? I got it all on tape. You're working for the county clerk's office?
I believe so, yes.
And you're only registering Republicans?
Nope.
You said we're only registering Romney people.
Well, we're trying to be honest.
And you're working for the county's office? What's your name?
Ma'am, my name is...
Thanks. That's all I need, honey bunch.
First of all, may I just say I love how that ended. Second of all, I mean, the sad thing is from what and this came to us from BradBlog.com. Thank you, Brad Friedman. We love you. In a platonic way. Apparently that's legal, Nicole. What do you think?
That's legal? That I wasn't aware of.
According
that sounds
to this,
pretty patently illegal.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this is just from what Brad Friedman posted. Once the person starts, Coolidge, Richard Coolidge, who works for the Secretary of State in Colorado, says what the worker is seen doing in a video is absolutely fine, so long as the screening happens before the registrant starts filling out the registration form. Quote, once the person starts filling out the application, he explained, the registration worker is, quote, required to submit the form to the county clerk. And then he goes on to say, but both sides do it, which is probably the dumbest defense of anything ever. But believe me, I was ticked off when I found that out too, because, I mean, first of all, you know...
Legal or not, that's pretty patently unethical.
Right.
Ethics. Since when did Republicans have ethics, Wes? Believe me, I think it should be illegal. I think that if you're out there registering voters, who they're going to vote for is none of your business. But apparently, according to Colorado, this is legal. One of the things I was thinking that could be a really good way to fix it is for the federal government to step in and say, you know, states, and this would be a great way to get rid of voter ID laws, is for the federal government to step in and say states can do whatever they want for the state election within reason. You know, we're going to monitor the constitutionality of voter ID laws, and if you're going to take a FOID card, a firearm owner identification card, over a college ID, that we're going to put the kibosh on that. But for a federal election, we set the rules. Do you think that could be a viable option for the federal government to just pass a law saying all federal elections are to be run according to one standard set by the government?
Well, I would love to see that happen. I don't know that we can do that, though, because of the way that the Constitution is laid out. Unfortunately, I think the states retain that right, and that's why we saw the debacle in 2000 in Florida with the butterfly ballots, and you know, all of these different things, because you've got some states that don't allow electronic voting, and you've got other states that do, and it would be nice if we could standardize this, but I can't see a politician out there who's got the political will to be able, or the political gonads to be able to go out and say, no, you know what, we need to federalize this so that, you know, we standardize the elections on a national level. I think that will make the right wing crazy. You're gonna hear screams of fascism along with the socialism and communism that we already hear, and they will just not let go of that politician.
Well, like I said, I mean,
any kind of standardization to federal law is just kryptonite for the people. Even reasonable federal government is just kryptonite to the right, and they will scream and howl and convince people they should be screaming and howling.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, you know, they're setting up the narrative. You know, if Obama wins, it's because, you know, earlier we played Rush Limbaugh. It's because America's stupid. It's because, you know, the polls are actually showing Romney's winning, and then we have stuff like this, and you know, I don't know. I don't understand how something like that could be legal to begin with. Maybe it's just me. I
still don't think it is legal. I just because one guy asserts it's okay does not, in my mind, make it legal.
Well, yeah, I mean, just because someone says something, you know, I get what you're saying there, but like I said, I'm not an expert in Colorado law. It sounds like, I don't know. But
especially if she was hired by, you know, like Karl Rove's PAC to go out and register voters. I mean, because that does happen. Then then I could see it, and I could see how it would be perfectly legal. But when she is working for the state, I don't see how that can be legal.
Yeah, like I said, apparently she wasn't working for the state. She just she either was lying in an attempt to save her hide, in which case, good one, or she just didn't know.
Yeah, it might be that she worked for the state but was not working for the state at the time. I don't know. I don't have the background there.
She didn't sound like the brightest bulb in the bunch either. So.
Yeah.
So she's Republican.
Well, I mean, not all Republicans are stupid. I mean, I would like to think Chuck Hagel was a pretty stern, smart Republican. He got out.
Well, sure. Not all Republicans are stupid. The more stupid people are Republicans.
See, I'm trying not to offend people tonight. I'm trying to be on good behavior because we have such a nice guest who agreed to join us on such short notice. So,
you can be offensive to Republicans. That's okay.
Green light! Okay! But no, I mean, like I said, I don't see what we can do if, in fact, this article is correct and what she is doing is legal. The only way to fix that would be to, first of all, we would need to determine whether or not it's constitutional to standardize federal elections. I don't see how it's unconstitutional. States can run their own elections, like I said, within reason. Obviously, Wanker's little voter ID thing is unconstitutional. But for a federal election, if they say, look, you can't do that. If people are legally able to vote, you cannot stop them because they don't have the right piece of plastic that you think they should have. Like I said, they'll sit here and they'll say, you can use a FOID card which has no picture. I worked for Walmart for 4.5 years. I saw FOID cards. Those do not have pictures. Wes, back me up on this. FOID cards, no picture, correct?
Nope. Not photo IDs.
But a student ID...
Well, in some states they are, technically. But most they don't have photos.
I'm talking about the federal card. As far as I know, it doesn't have a picture.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
But a college ID, which almost always has a picture. I can't think of any student IDs that don't have pictures anymore. Those aren't legal. And that's clearly meant to disenfranchise... it's voting while liberal. You've heard of voting while black, voting while Hispanic. It's voting while liberal. That's what it needs to be called because they just want to discriminate based, again, they want power.
Yeah. The more people who are educated that they don't let vote, the better their chances.
Yeah. Well, it's like Rush Limbaugh said. Before we go, let's. Because this really ticks me off. Here's a little thing from Rush Limbaugh. Again, this is setting up a narrative. So there's two narratives going on. One is Romney's actually had in the polls, and anyone who tells you otherwise is a liar. So that they're basically saying,
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
And the other is, if Barack Obama wins, it's because America is stupid. Here's Rush Limbaugh promoting the second theory.
Why are they hanging around with the women on The View? They're worried, and it's all about the voters that Obama's targeting. It's all totally. So is the speech today. You people on the left, you like to think of yourselves as the smartest among us, and you pride yourself Obama's the smartest. Do you realize how dumb the average Obama voter is? Do you realize how not dumb, uninformed? Do you realize that Obama is trying to put together a majority coalition made up of the least informed people in this country, and in some cases may be the dumbest? He's not targeting the brains of our society. He's not targeting the brains, or he may figure he has academia all wrapped up, but his big electoral push is for the mental midgets in this country. Proudly so.
So, we're mental midgets, I guess, Wes, Nicole, and John.
So, it's funny that he says that right after Santorum said, as I recall, the smart people are never going to be for us.
Right.
Make up your fucking minds.
Well, they can't. That's the beautiful thing about being Republican is that you can hold two entirely inconsistent statements at the same time and not blink. But for me, because he prefaced that with going on The View, and The View is clearly targeted towards women, he's saying women are stupid.
Well, I could say... Oh, sorry, John.
He's offending, like, several people, calling women stupid. Midgets, the correct term is little person.
Oh, you're not going to go there, John?
Oh, here it comes. If anybody knew anything about little person, it's Rush Limbaugh.
Nice.
It's a callback to last week where we covered Rush Limbaugh's
shrinking member?
Yes. Anyway, I can tell you this: we have proven tonight that women are not stupid, because I Nicole Bell, as always, delightful and smart, and thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me, Adam.
Oh, by all means. We'll be in touch, because I believe did I ask if you'd be interested in joining us to go over one of the debates, or have I not gone to you yet? We're putting together like
you
a dream.
You haven't gone to me yet, but we'll talk.
Yeah. I want to put together like a dream team to riff on the debates. Like believe me, the Ryan Biden debate is going to be comedy gold. You heard it here first.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, we're going to go to break. Nicole Bell, thank you again so much. I really do appreciate it, and I'll be in touch, and we'll work on. We'll hammer something out, But thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you could have gotten to talk to my co-host a bit more. Unfortunately,
sorry, Wes.
No problem. Like I said,
his work has very inconsistent hours. But anyway, thank you so much, Nicole Bell. We're going to go to break, and this is going to be the Green News Report break, because I just didn't want to take away from what little time we have with Nicole Bell. Anyway, we will be back. This is Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Karskadin, and super special co-host John Kendall out of the University of Montana. Thanks again, Nicole.
Sure. Take care, guys.
Nobody react to what I'm about to tell you.
Unfiltered truth.
I think that kid might be
Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
Unfiltered.
It's Thursday, September 27, 2012.
If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help.
Hey, fracking industry, turns out you didn't build that either. Chevron caught cheating in San Francisco refinery fire. Texas police taser pipeline protesters. Plus,
drought conditions here in the U.S. and in Russia destroyed crops used to feed pigs.
Bacon apocalypse. This time, global warming has gone too far.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire. All of that and more straight ahead. From BradBlog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
Stand by for 6 minutes of independent green news, politics, analysis, and snarky comment.
A global bacon shortage. We're all going to die much later than we thought, thanks to the reduced salt and nitrates in our diets.
This is your Green News Report.
This is unthinkable.
What? Des? Say it isn't so.
Yes.
Bacon shortage?
Yes, the apocalypse.
Oh, my Lord. What next? Thanks, global warming.
We'll get to that in a moment. First, we've got a pretty oily and fractastic report today. Protesters with the TarSandsAction.org in East Texas have been blocking construction of the southern leg of the controversial Keystone XL pipeline by chaining themselves to construction equipment.
We hope to stop this pipeline. It's necessary to stop this pipeline. It's a threat to our constitutional rights. It's a threat to our future. And those directly impacted here on the ground, it's a threat to their families' health, safety, and security.
I really see this as my chance to step up and do something.
Wow, she sounds dangerous.
Yes, and now Texas police have escalated. On Wednesday, the protesters were placed in chokeholds and tasered and pepper sprayed repeatedly by Texas police before being arrested. This blockade is a last-ditch effort to help landowners whose property has been seized by pipeline owner TransCanada, a foreign company, using eminent domain court proceedings.
So this is something Republicans must be outraged about, right? The government coming in and taking private land from landowners?
Oh, no, they are all for it.
Go figure.
Remember that Chevron refinery fire near San Francisco last month, whose smoke sent 15,000 people to local hospitals for breathing problems? Investigators have determined that the refinery fire was caused by a corroded 40-year-old pipe at the 100-year-old refinery. The faulty pipe was missed by Chevron's faulty inspection process. But now, a criminal investigation. EPA investigators discovered someone at the Chevron refinery installed secret bypass devices on some of the refinery's required air pollution monitoring equipment to reroute dangerous hydrocarbon gases around the monitors to give false readings.
Wow.
Meaning no one knows just how much actual air pollution has been released into local neighborhoods near the refinery or for how long.
Holy smokes, that's a big story.
Very serious.
Keep an eye on that one, please.
In Wyoming, new testing confirms a drinking water aquifer is contaminated with toxic drilling chemicals used in the controversial natural gas drilling technique known as hydraulic fracturing, or fracking for short. The fracking industry says there's no evidence fracking contaminates water supplies, but now new tests just conducted by the U.S. Geological Survey confirm previous EPA tests that show nearby fracking operations are the likely source of new methane, diesel fuel, and other toxic compounds in Pavilion, Wyoming's drinking water supply. The drilling company Encana claims the contamination is natural and denies responsibility. Remember this from last July?
Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that.
And neither did fracking. Turns out the wildly successful fracking industry didn't build that. You did. An Associated Press investigation this week shows that the federal government paid over 100 million taxpayer dollars and billions in special tax breaks to the fracking industry to research and develop these new drilling techniques that are now responsible for the current natural gas boom. That's in the same way that U.S. taxpayers are now funding research and development for the U.S. clean energy industry.
So it was all of those entitlements given to the fossil fuel companies that has led to your fracking nightmares.
Yes, it has. Finally, you may have heard of the bacon-pocalypse.
The Financial Times reports drought conditions here in the U.S. and in Russia destroyed crops used to feed pigs. The UK's National Pig Association is warning of a, quote, unavoidable global bacon shortage.
Oh, but not really. The British Pork Industry Group is really just asking British consumers to pay more for their bacon today so that next year farmers can pay higher costs of feed so they can have more bacon tomorrow.
So we can't blame any of this on global warming?
The drought, yes. Bacon-pocalypse, no.
Cool. Bring on the global warming. For more on that story and all of those we couldn't get to today, please check out our website at greennews.bradblog.com. While you're there, consider a donation to help sponsor the Green News Report. And remember, you can download us anytime on iTunes, listen to us on your mobile device via Stitcher Radio, follow us 24/7 on the Twitters at Green News Report, and find us and like us on the Facebook. From bradblog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
And this has been your Green News Report.
Just eat it, get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it, just eat it, just eat it, just eat it.
The More Me Show with DJ Downtown and Eddie Herradura. Live from our nation's capital, every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, with hilariously scathing inches from the Beltway analysis of this week's political and social developments. The More Me Show at ProgressiveBlendRadio.com and RadioOrNot.com. Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show. We just got done listening to several clips about the Romney fundraisers over the weekend, and I invented the murder finger. It's an offspring of the murder fist. It just happens to be the murder fist with the middle finger extended.
Well, I'm ahead of you because I've had a hate finger for many.
Hate finger.
Hate finger. The man with the malcontent touch.
Yeah. Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
What the hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
And now, live on your computer machine, it's Adam Hebert with Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah! Look, I'm up to here with cool, okay? I am so amazingly cool, you could keep a sight of meat in me for a month. I am so hip, I have difficulty seeing over my pelvis.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
And I think the same could be said of the people who are joining me now. They're so cool you can keep a sight of me and them for a month. Special guest co-host John Kendall out of the University of Montana in Missoula.
Hello again.
And the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio who can finally have his jingle, Wes Garskan. Here you go, Wes.
People of Earth, your attention, please.
Oh, yeah. Well, speak up!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Wes Garskan. A foul-mouthed, barrel-chested, beer-bellied pile of ugly muscle.
Holy shit, you geeks are badass.
I apologize for nothing.
I'm like a hunter of peace, one who chases the elusive mayfly of love. Well, something like that.
And have you caught that elusive mayfly of love yet?
But of course.
Wonderful.
I caught it, I released it, I chased it again, just for the thrill.
But yes, thank you as always for joining us, Wes. Any word on when your the switch is going to happen?
Like I said, I'll tell you when I know.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Let's talk about some Republican shenanigans. Let's talk about Mia Love.
Now that's a porno name if I ever heard one.
Shit.
I almost couldn't find that clip because I was watching the wrong episode to find it. It's like, I know there's a porno name joke somewhere in here, and I was watching Hobgoblins, and it was actually an overdrawn at the memory bank starring by Julia.
Nice.
So,
Malin Palin too, starring Mia Love.
So
Penguin Penguin 2. I can see my buns from here.
That is great. I approve of that joke. So, I couldn't find audio of this, but please, if it helps, imagine my voice as being that of this person. So, Utah Mayor and GOP congressional candidate Mia Love. Darn it! Where's my porno name drop? Was sent an envelope containing. Thank you. Was sent an envelope containing racist and disturbing photos. The black female Republican says she's become a target because she, quote, poses a problem to the policies of the Obama administration. The thick envelope arrived at Love's office in Saratoga Springs, Utah, The envelope reportedly contained a photo showing Love, her husband, and a hooded Ku Klux Klan member, as well as an aborted fetus. So, before we go on, based on the contents of this envelope, who do you think she thinks sent it? Should I get out the Jeopardy music, or are we good on that for now?
The NAACP.
Close. You're not allowed to be right.
Oh,
I mean, if you're right, I don't get a chance to. It's all gone to hell. No, I'm just joking. You can be right if you want.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
My world is crumbling.
So she thinks it's liberals. Because liberals regularly send pictures of the Ku Klux Klan and aborted fetuses, right? I just did that last week.
Yeah.
Wes, did you get
those,
that?
Liberals in the Klan. Yeah.
Speaking of, Wes, did you get my package?
Are you coming on to me, sir?
No!
Hey, Adam, at least you have a package to send, unlike Rush Limbaugh.
Oh! Damn. We should keep this guy.
He's been doing that all night, Wes. It's like that lady, in the Leech Woman episode. She's hitting she's hitting Pania left and right. I mean, he's just like a lean, mean penis stroke machine.
Hey, penis jokes always class up the discussion.
Well, I'm trying to make my mom proud.
She's proud, Adam. She's proud.
I'm sure she is. The mayor is currently campaigning against Democratic Representative Jim Matheson for Utah's 4th District congressional seat. Love, who could be the first black female Republican elected to Congress, says she believes she's become a target because she poses a problem to the policy of the Obama administration. Because, like I said, it's liberals who use photographs of fetuses and the Ku Klux... Why do they have to have such a...
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, yes, it was people supporting Obama who threatened somebody who over a racial overtone. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, here's something interesting. A newly released poll from Mia Love's internal polling.
Mia Love.
Now that's a porno name if I ever heard one.
She's
I actually have
leading,
no idea what she looks like, so I can't say.
She's leading 51-36. Curiously enough, the same group said 3 months ago she was losing by all. The numbers were reversed. So here's what let me just float this, because unlike Rush Limbaugh, I am the mayor of Reelsville. So let me float this theory.
I've got one, Adam.
Now I can't keep a straight face. Let me get this theory out, because if I let you go first, I won't be able to stop laughing, John. Nothing personal. I think she saw the poll numbers. She said, "Holy shit, I'm going to get my ass kicked. I need something to make me look, to get the sympathy vote." So she cooked this up, sent it to herself, because, come on, this is right-wing bullshit. This is the fetus, the Ku Klux Klan. It came
it's like
from
somebody looked at it and said, "Oh, how do we like to affect things? Oh yeah, fetuses in the Klan. Yeah."
Danny suggests that I just say KKK to make it easier. She says, "Calm down." I'm sorry. So yeah, I think I will use that, Danny. Thank you. But no, I think that this is just something. Either she made the arrangements, or the RNC was like, "We cannot afford to lose this seat. This is a red state. Mitt Romney's the home state of Mitt Romney's religion. So it's arguably, I consider Utah to be Mitt Romney's home state more than Massachusetts or Michigan. And I think they said, we gotta do something to make her look good. Let's make her look sympathetic. We'll send her this bullshit stuff. And of course, they fucked up because they sent her stuff that is obviously right-wing bullshit. What do you think of that theory?
Well, I mean, obviously, apparently the liberals have images of the KKK around. Meanwhile, I think it's just Mitt Romney's family photo.
That's a good one. I like that theory. Wes, what theory? What's your theory about this?
Yeah, I mean, really, I would say it. I actually had a similar joke, and now you've ruined it for me, you bastard. Well, it's almost time for Mitt Romney's high school reunion. He's his probably 50th or so. I'm not sure. Less than that. Anyway, so they just sent the picture to the wrong place. You got, their mascot, the aborted fetus, their football team, the Grand Imperial Wizards.
The fighting feti. What's the plural form of fetus? Damn it!
Go
Google
fetuses!
monkeys.
Go fetuses!
Abort the other team!
Oh!
I finally got a zinger!
In moments of peak, fans throw coat hangers onto the field.
I was just going to go with the coat hanger joke.
No, I will say, Wes, I share your pain about the stolen joke because Tom Schaefer from Turn Up the Night stole a joke of mine. And actually, at first I was like, first of all, he probably doesn't even look at my Facebook because that's where I posted. And second of all, if he did, it's flattery. He thinks I'm funny. So
yeah. Well, in this case, you just came up with it before I did, so whatever.
So yeah. I think, like I said, it's either, if it's legitimate, it's from a right-wing organization who's basically saying, don't you dare compromise because you're dealing with baby killers, and they just didn't figure out how to use the TV with a typewriter on it. They were like, oops. I'm gonna send a picture of a dead fetus to this mayor in Utah. So tell me how to use the TV with a typewriter on it.
Okay, I got it. Now here's what happened. Somebody saw her on the news and said, "Hey, she looks the same as that Obama. I bet she's a baby-killing liberal."
Yeah, this is like Clue, but here's what really happened. Dun, 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 dun.
It was Grand Wizard in the library.
Okay, but enough about Mia Love because we're coming up on Asshole of the Week, and John, I hope you picked a good one. We'll decide if you chose wisely. I just hope you don't choose poorly because I'm sure you've seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and you know what happens if which one is it?
Don't make poor life choices.
He chose poorly.
So we'll see what you picked after this, but here is Chris Christie on the attack again.
Placed a moratorium on foreclosures, and so our policy was put on hold, waiting to see what the courts were ultimately going to do regarding foreclosure. And that's why we haven't moved any more quickly than we have already. And I also, by the way, don't think...
I apologize. I couldn't enhance this audio.
And who are you, by the way?
I'm Jim Hopkins.
From where?
Channel 7, WABC.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot.
My follow-up is, I'm not sure that really rings true. Because,
if you don't think it rings true, it's not a question.
Governor, this is an urgent issue facing the state. Why would you blow it off?
Michael, please.
Why would you brush it off, Governor?
Okay. The point is, Chris Christie is a fat, narcissistic bully. I don't understand. Well, I understand why he's popular in the GOP. They are all bullies. They get their kicks out of bullying people. The Christians like to bully atheists, Muslims, and then Chris Christie likes to bully people who are thinner than he is because all he has to do is say, "If you don't do what I tell you, I'll sit on you." And before anyone complains, I want to say I'm allowed to make fat jokes because I myself am fat. As I said earlier, I have a face and an ass that was meant for radio. So we don't want no stick up the ass liberals here, is what I'm saying.
Well, I can make fat jokes too, and man, I don't know. I don't think it was the audio's fault there, Adam. I think he had a sandwich stuck in his throat.
Up from the depths, 30 stories wide, breathes lard, his ass fills the sky.
Chris Christie.
Believe me, I want to do a remix of the old Godzilla cartoon theme song because that's where I got that idea from. It's like, I don't know how I can do that. I don't have the fine audio editing skills. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was able to make Wes a pretty kick-ass jingle. But,
sure.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, they're bullies. They're bullies on the other side. I could respect Chris Christie if he actually had some policy ideas that worked. And he sat down and said, look, I got this idea, let's give it a shot. No, he's just got to go all mobster.
Well, yeah. That's the problem, Adam. He's always sitting down. He can't stand up for anything to please him.
Oh, John, you're on fire tonight. So, are we ready to take out some trash?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. It's time for our assholes of the week.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name? Asshole. Major asshole. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Were you born an asshole?
Asshole?
Or did you work at it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine. 'Cause you're an asshole tonight.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow?
Oh, crap! No, stop! I really need to hire someone to run a board. I don't think I could fit a second person in this dorm room, but Jesus Christ. Wes, how about we let our special guest co-host go first, shall we?
Sounds good.
To be all proper. John, who is your nominee for Asshole of the Week? Who is your choice?
My choice, I was going to go with the NFL replacement refs, but then I stumbled upon something that's a lot worse. Anita Sarkeesian. I don't know if that name rings a bell. She had this Kickstarter for where she would get money, like $6,000, play video games, and tell the people why they were sexist. Okay? I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that was 2 months ago. She has yet to make a video on it. A video would be 5 to 10 minutes of telling them why, why this is wrong, etc., etc. She made off with $150,000 and still no video 2 months after the fact.
Damn.
Wow. Well, John?
You have chosen wisely.
So,
yeah, she's an asshole.
Wes! I trust you put some thought in this one.
Yeah, I was a bit short on time for research, but I am picking classic asshole Scott Brown.
Okay.
For one simple reason.
Actually, I've got audio. Are you is it about the Cherokee thing?
The what's it who?
The Cherokee thing?
That's not the story I was looking at, but sure, we'll give him more reason to be an asshole.
Okay, here's Scott Brown and Warren.
Professor Warren claimed that she was a Native American, a person of color, and as you can see, she's not. That being said, she checked the box, and she had an opportunity actually to make a decision throughout her career. When she applied to Penn and Harvard, she checked the box claiming she was a Native American, and clearly she's not. That being said, I don't know, and neither do the viewers know, whether in fact she got ahead as a result of that checking of the box.
Damn it!
Yeah, because because the thing that the law is, you can check the box for Native American if you are up to 1/16th. I've read about this, and a lot of people who are 1/16th Native American just look white.
Right. The leader of the Cherokee Nation is 1/32nd Cherokee, the same as Elizabeth Warren, and she is part Cherokee and part Delaware, so she probably meets the 1/16th requirement.
Oh, definitely.
But it's a good thing I didn't use this earlier, Wes, but you would think that Republicans don't understand.
Are you familiar with audio tape?
Because he denied making the attack later. Here's, like I said, I've got your back, Wes. We're thinking on the same tune, so on the same wavelength. So here is Scott Brown denying his attack.
The debate that, as you can see, she's not Indian. Can you tell by looking at someone what their ethnicity is?
Listen,
what's your feeling?
I think it's clear based on all the reporting that you and others have made that she's not a Native American. Clearly she isn't. And the issue here is about whether she in fact took advantage of something that was entitled to somebody else who could have been maybe standing there debating me at that very moment. But it's clear that she needs to release the records. It goes to integrity and character of who she is. You add that onto the fact that she's telling people that she's fighting for the little guy, and it's clear that she's not.
But you're suggesting that you can tell by
I never made that suggestion at all.
I never made that suggestion. He made it on national TV. I'm sorry, Wes. I took over your asshole of the week.
That's okay. Ooh, you can take over my asshole anytime.
Aha!
No thanks. Nothing personal. Alright, are we ready for mine? Because this one...
Yes.
This
one is a doozy.
My asshole of the week is Romney campaign chair John I am an asshole Sununu. And this is why. Here's the audio.
So they admitted it yesterday and the day before, and now he's retreating again. Look, let me tell you what the big problem with this president is, in my opinion. He is absolutely lazy and detached from his job. When he doesn't go and attend 60% of the detailed presidential daily briefings that come from the CIA and thinks he can just skim the summary paper on his iPad instead of sitting down and engaging in what I was in a White House with George Herbert Walker Bush. He took that brief every day. George W. Bush took it every day, and I believe that
George W. Bush okay, first of all, Barack Obama's lazy. Have you seen the before and after pictures of him, before he was president and after?
Oh, yeah.
You do not go that gray if you're lazy.
Turning into a silver fox.
Second of all, he seriously made the claim that George W. Bush do they not know how to read the words Bin Laden determined to strike inside the United States?
No, to be fair, that was just a historical document.
It was historical, all right. So yeah, John Sununu is my asshole of the week, and I must say, it was well earned, Mr. Sununu. You earned it! You earned it! Yeah, he is the leading asshole in the state. So, yeah. Let me eject that. There! Now I finally got it right. We are a little long on break. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to auger this baby in. We're going to talk about the new ad, which I love, trying to get out the vote, and we'll see what else happens. We're going to also wish a very special somebody a very special birthday. I'm Adam Hebert. This is Mike Check Radio with special guest co-host John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana, and the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Wes Karsken. We'll be back.
Adam Hebert.
Should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show.
Hey, McCain was born in Panama.
Yeah, McCain was born in Panama, but, you know, there we go.
And they were fine with that.
Well, he was born of American parents, and it was in a U.S. territory.
Yeah. McCain was actually grandfathered in, and what I mean by that is he was born an old man.
Yeah, it was kind of like Benjamin Button. You know?
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bulletin with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Time special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
A group calling itself Parents for Romney convened this morning for a rally at Cedar Shake Mall outside of Bluff City, Wyoming. Though parrots are native to South and Central America in this hemisphere and can't legally vote in the U.S., they wanted to make their voices heard. A protest group known as Ocelots for Obama pretty much put an end to all that in short order. This HowdyLand.com news bullet will stand in the way of progress until progress gets real. I'm Stan Douglas.
Here we go again. I demand more.
I want it, I need it, and I'm gonna have it.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Open up my mic. Yes, we are back, and this show, I mean, it's gone flawlessly, and it's actually gone. Have you ever noticed that when it's bad, it goes by like in super slow-mo? And then when it's good, you know, all of a sudden it's time to end, and you're like, oh shit, it's over.
I mean, you're doing it right.
You know, so...
I can just cram more small penis jokes into 3 hours.
Like I said, making my mom proud.
Hi, Mrs. Hebert.
I doubt she's listening. In all honesty, I've encouraged her to, but she thinks I'm crazy because I refused. Oh, oops! She thinks I'm crazy because I refuse to accept the prospect, that Ronald Reagan was a good president. Well, it's because he wasn't. But she thinks it's like, oh, Adam, Ronald Reagan did good things for this country. Shame on you for refusing to accept it. It's like, the man committed treason, woman. Yeah, final segment where we're doing really good, and we're running a little bit late. Holy shit. So who wants to hear the new Samuel L. Jackson ad?
Sure, it's new on me.
Let me tell you something. This man is really getting fed up with these motherfucking Republicans in this motherfucking country. And he cut this ad that's basically a parody. I don't know if you heard about him narrating a book called Go the Fuck to Sleep about a year ago. So this is meant to be a parody of that, and here is Wake the Fuck Up. Oh, and I should mention, unfortunately, I could not find an uncensored version of this ad, which disappointed me terribly.
In the silvery moonlight that bathes every town, the people lie dreaming, so safe and so sound. They're warm in their beds, snuggled up in their sheets. But 4 years before, they were out in the streets. Now it's as if they don't know what's at stake. All except one girl, wide-eyed and awake. Little Susie is too worried to sleep. She can't figure out why her family's so passive. It's like they don't know that Romney and his Veep will remake the country in ways that are drastic. She read his platform and it scared her to death. She's got to do something while there's still time left.
I was little the last time, but I still remember. My whole family was out working together. We canvassed and phone banked with passion and pluck. It matters more this time, but their eyes are shut.
I just want to ask, is that the yelling channel in the background from the Touch of Satan episode? Remember, I love the yelling channel. I'm sorry, I had to bring that up.
Mom, Dad, The election's coming up soon.
We're tired right now, hon. Go back to your room.
Sorry, my friend, but there's no time to snore. An out-of-touch millionaires just declared war. On schools, the environment, unions, fair pay. We're all on our own if Romney has his way. And he's against safety nets. If you fall, tough luck. So I strongly suggest that you wake the up.
In 08, my brother was on the front lines. But now he says he just cannot find the time. This election's about our whole future. It's like you don't even care, man.
What?
You believe in civil rights. Well, Mitt Romney's no fan. He's okay with voter suppression, wants gay marriage banned. He stood against the DREAM Act, and he isn't worried about the poor. If we don't do something right now, this is who we're asking for.
I hate to break it to you, sis, but all politicians are the same.
They're all the same? Big brother, please. Obama sent SEALs to bin Laden's place. Romney sent jobs overseas. And how about that student loan overhaul? It's gonna save you thousands of bucks. Mitt will cut that shit in a second. My dude, wake the up.
Oh my god. It's Facebook official. Hey, what are you doing?
Before the last election, you girls held bake sales for Obama.
With Mitt in office, get ready for drama. A vote for Romney is a vote to let Planned Parenthood get cut.
Listen to your little sister. Wake the up.
I know you're Facebooking, but wow.
Stop! Get out there and sell some cakes and cookies! Now!
Grandma? Grandpa? Can we talk?
Before we go on, I just want to say, I did not need the mental image of anyone's grandparents getting frisky.
Hey man, I had some hot grandmas.
So again, sorry to interject. Let's.
Now, sweetie, can it wait?
Hell no, it can't wait. Your lives will be affected. Romney and Ryan will gut Medicare if they're elected. Ask the fact checkers. Those two are fact duckers.
What do you want us to do?
Say hell no, motherfuckers! We've come a long way, but there's still more to do. And we need you all back in the fight till it's through. Of course, you're so busy and finding times rough, but you can sleep when you're dead. Right now...
What? The
That is what I call a political ad. Oh, and he also had this to say.
Enough is enough! I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
So yeah, what do you think? Good ad, bad ad? John, what's your opinion?
I think it's a good ad. I mean, like, I'm all for little kids cussing. But, like, you know, I think they should have hit with, a little bit more of the facts, you know, but it's still an effective ad. I mean, when you've got an angry black man coming at you saying, hey man, you better wake the fuck up, it's gonna get people to listen, man.
Wes, what's your take?
Yeah, when Samuel Jackson's talking, you better listen, motherfucker.
Exactly.
He will fuck you up.
I think that's a great ad. I mean, there's only so much you can cram into that ad, you know.
Rush Limbaugh.
Oh no, there's plenty of room for Rush Limbaugh in that ad, assuming you just need
Oh my god! That's a double whammy! Yeah, so, I would say an effective ad. Wes,
yeah,
this one's for you. It's out of, Tennessee. Oh, damn. There we go. Tennessee Majority Leader Gerald McCormick, Republican, caught stealing signs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tennessee,
he was caught stealing signs for Frank Eaton, the Democrat candidate for Tennessee's 27th district, and it was in a public place. He also cursed Frank Eaton out in front of his wife Joy. Good one, Nelson.
Classy.
McCormick. Yeah. If I were Ian, I would just be telling McCormick.
Shut it! I swear I'll shut it or I'll shut it for you!
Yeah. That's classy with a KKK. Thank you.
I thought I'd just give that one to you, Adam.
Yeah. So, alright, I just thought I threw that in because I was like, oh, it's Tennessee, it's West State, he'll get a kick.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one. It's not my district, but yeah, it sounds about par for the course for this state.
Yeah. Frank Eden, Democrat candidate. I mean, it's just... Oh, so his, Representative Floyd, who Eden, is running against, called this guy and asked him to remove them, saying the signs were illegally placed and I was doing the guy a favor. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that just sounds like a very slow back away.
Well, I mean, like, obviously he saw the sign and it opened up his eyes. I'm glad you get that reference, Wes.
Ace of Base. It took me a minute to realize
Well,
that.
well done, Adam. Well done.
It took me a minute, and I was like, 90s music, 90s pop music since tingling. Before, we normally do birthdays in the last 10 minutes, but today is a very special birthday. And we owe this program's existence to this birthday girl. Today is Stephanie Miller's 42nd birthday. And please do not add 9 to that. That will not get you her actual age. God damn it, I can't believe I just did that.
Hate now.
No, seriously, there's a reason why everyone who listens to her show calls her Mama. She is just such a wonderful, funny... I've seen her live. She does the Stephanie Miller Sexy Liberal show, and I was laughing my ass off. Unfortunately, my ass found me again. But, no, she's gifted, she's funny, she's on every morning. Why are you on in the morning, Stephanie? And, of course, she's doing a Sexy Liberal show tonight in Seattle, and I wish I could be there, because she is going to be drunk off her ass and groping people left and right. So I thought...
Look, the party to be at.
I know. So I thought we could just, send a nice... Each of us say something nice, and she's on an FCC station, so we have to keep it clean. But I thought, let's share our birthday wishes. Who wants to go first? I know you don't have anything planned, but I need a cricket chirp drop, don't I?
Yes, you do. But I don't really listen to radio. It's one of my many sins. But as long as she's out there spreading a positive message and whatnot, I say happy birthday, Stephanie, and keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it.
I like that. Wes!
I hope that when you wake up tomorrow morning after this birthday that your headache is not too horrible and there's no incriminating photos. And if there are, I hope they were fun taking.
And I hope they are leaked to the internet.
Yes, please.
Should I censor that in post?
Good Lord, no.
Okay.
Self-censorship is bullshit.
Happy birthday, Mama Sama. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here. You've been such a tremendous inspiration to people like Danielle and Shano, who are two of the people who helped me start this show, and Kenny Pick, who got his start contributing audio to his show, and Rocky Mountain Mike. You have made such an impact in many people's lives, and I mean, you are such an awesome person. Happy birthday, and have many more. I think that's about it for that. crap. And no swearing. That's great. We don't have to censor that, and I will be cutting that and sending it in for the Monday show. I'm trying to see if I held off on anything we can talk, because crap. Wrong one. No wonder why I couldn't find my audio. My box wasn't up.
Lord knows how often I have that problem.
All right. Let's talk about. Maybe we should have done this sooner, but let's talk about how. Mitt Romney's just a rich bastard, isn't he? Here he is talking about how fair it is that his tax rate is lower than ours. Take a listen.
No tax on their savings.
Now, you made on your investments personally about $20 million last year, and you paid 14% in federal taxes. That's the capital gains rate. Is that fair to the guy who makes $50,000 and paid a higher rate than you did?
It is a low rate, and one of the reasons why the capital gains tax rate is lower is because capital has already been taxed once at the corporate level, as high as 35%.
So you think it is fair?
Yeah, I think it's the right way to encourage economic growth, to get people to invest, to start businesses.
So it's fair, Wes, that you pay. I'm assuming you're going to pay like 25%. You don't have to get into too details, but you pay a higher rate than Mitt Romney does. That's fair because that encourages growth.
Yeah, it encourages growth on people's bodies because they can't afford to go to doctors, I suppose.
I
got nothing clever for that.
This guy's just so out of touch. And again, it's the sense of entitlement. It's fair because we're the job creators. We deserve this money.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like we've been having these people who are like, yeah, just give more money to the job creators for 30 fucking years. Where's the jobs they're creating? Oh, right. No, that didn't happen.
Excellent point. We have been a trickle down economy for 30 years, and it hasn't trickled down.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It didn't work when they tried it in other countries. It
didn't work in the Great Depression.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
All right.
So,
good job.
Somehow the whole fucking platform is, hey, let's keep doing what didn't work. Because it might start working.
Yeah. If we sprinkle magical conservative pixie dust and we clap our hands, so
just pray real hard the supply side Jesus.
Adam, that isn't pixie dust, it's cocaine, brother.
That would explain a lot.
It's the 80s. Do a lot of coke and vote for Ronald. Oh, okay. Let's dish out some more birthday wishes. This week, of course, Stephanie Miller. Again, happy birthday, Mama Sama. Hal Sparks, another one of my liberal muses, had his birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Hal-san. Please listen to his radio show every Saturday morning, 11 to 1 Central. Hal Sparks' radio program, Mega Worldwide. And you can hear him every Wednesday morning on Stephanie Miller Show's Hump Days with Hal. And, of course, my good friend from Montana, Maki Tokumitsu, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, all of you. Many happy returns. And we have a big birthday next week, so I'm going to be letting this birthday girl schedule our music breaks.
Okay.
She's a very close friend of mine, and I can't, and let me tell you, we got some parties coming up this month. There's going to be the post-election party. There's going to be the Mike Check Radio Company Christmas party, and my birthday party.
Woo, more excuses to get hammered.
Woohoo! And actually, my birthday, the show my birthday, falls under is also our 6-month anniversary on the air, Wes.
Oh, really?
Wow. From what I can tell. Yeah. We got 4 minutes left. Let's auger this baby in. I would like to direct everyone to please check out our fine affiliates at the following places. Please check out the Nicole Sandler Show every Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The Nicole Sandler Show at Radio or Not. Filter Free Radio with Jacob Dean every Monday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, Radio or Not. Talking Left every Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Again, Radio or Not. AWOP Radio currently on hiatus. I won't mention when it is. She is on hiatus until November. The Shannon Files again on hiatus. Although I think we're going to get Mistress Clarissa in to help us with these debates, Wes.
Okay.
The More Me Show every Sunday night, 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, Big Bro Kenny Pick, Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, every Tuesday and Friday night live, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And he is on terrestrial radio every Sunday night out of WVKO Columbus, Ohio, every Sunday, 5 to 8. And he will be doing a special live show Sunday, October 21st. And he'll be taking calls. Wes, if you can make it, make it. And call in. Tell Kenny hi. Anywho, let's do parting shots. John, parting shot, please, sir.
If you haven't already listened to it, go to YouTube and YouTube the song Gangnam Style. We have to put the menace that is Justin Bieber down. Yeah, YouTube Gangnam Style.
I'm too old to understand the meme, but anything that gets rid of Justin Bieber is okay in my book. Wes, parting shot, please.
Obviously, the cure for Bieber fever is more metal. So I don't know what this Gangnam Style crap you're going through is. It's been a meme. I haven't seen it. Whatever. We need more Death Clock. Death Clock will kill Bieber.
I approve of that also, so we can be friends.
Yay.
My parting shot is, be excellent to each other. I don't know. But we do have to get going. Please check us out next weekend on Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert and Wes Karskadin. Don't forget, Macaroni is on the big show next week. Macaroni, the official rapper of the Stephanie Miller Show. We will see you next week. Same Adam time, same Wes channel. Bye!
Time for go to bed. Aye, 'tis late. Shall we retire?
Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye to you all. I'll never forget you. Live in peace.
Goodbye, all. Stay happy and good luck.
On our way to great adventures.
Get out of here! Disgusting worm!
Push the button, Frank.
Get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Visitors, thank you for your attendance.